Now you might be thinking, what do those two clips have in common? SGA getting his ring in 2025 and the Dame game winner in 2019. Well, in between those two events is the greatest rebuild of all time. Let's get into it. The story starts April 23rd, 2019 when Damian Lillard hits the 37-foot walk-off snipe to send the Thunder home in 5 games. In a series where Damian Lillard basically dominated Russell Westbrook in every single game except for one. But on the other side, Paul George would actually have a pretty decent series. Even though they lost in 5, he would play solid. And more notably, Paul George would be a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year award and the MVP, averaging 28, 8, and 4 on 2 steals per game. His value as a player was at an all-time high. And despite that, fans were still wondering, is this team even good enough to compete? I mean, we just had all the success with Paul George playing, and we still have Russell Westbrook, but I mean, we were only the 6th seed, and we got smacked in 5 in the first round. Like, there needs to be some changes here. But it would be a quiet first couple weeks of the offseason for the Thunder, as they would have the 21st pick going into the NBA draft. And with this pick, they would actually select Brandon Clark. Rest in peace, Brandon Clark. Prayers for his family. But this pick would actually be traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, so the Thunder would never really have Brandon Clark. And instead, they would actually sign Nerlens Noel as a free agent, and then also sign Lou Dort to a 2-way contract. Yes, Lou Dort. And while the team was expected to make some minor changes, Paul George and Russell Westbrook were planning to stay on the team, as Paul George has signed this huge 4-year extension with them, so there was no reason for him to go. But under the table, Kawhi Leonard, the 2019 Finals MVP, Finals champion, was wanting to make a return home to Los Angeles with the Clippers, but he didn't want to sign there all by himself. He wanted help. He wanted a co-star. He was secretly under the table trying to recruit Paul George to demand and force a trade to the Clippers, which then would lead Kawhi to signing there, because he didn't want to sign there first. He wanted Paul George to get traded there first. And so Paul George would approach Sam Presti and request a private trade demand and give the franchise only 48 hours to trade him to the Clippers, because Paul George wanted to go team up with Kawhi. And Sam Presti knew that he had all of the leverage in this deal, because he knew the Clippers weren't just trading for Paul George, they were also trading for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to sign there, so he knew he could basically get whatever he wanted in this trade. Woj bomb! Oklahoma City is trading all-star Paul George to the Los Angeles Clippers for a record-setting deal. Oh my gosh, this is real. Paul George traded to the Clippers. Gallinari, Gilgeous-Alexander, and multiple picks headed to Oklahoma City. Okay, let's look at the full details. Okay, the Clippers are going to receive Paul George, the MVP and DPOY finalist last year, and the Thunder are going to receive SGA, Gallinari, a 2021 first-round pick, 2022 first-round pick, 2024 first-round pick, 2026 first-round pick, then the first protected first-round pick, and then also 2 first-round pick swaps. Wow. So obviously the Thunder are getting Gallinari, but also getting the young guard SGA, who just averaged 10 points per game on 47-36. He played all 82 games, and yeah, he's looking nice and promising, but man, this is a lot of picks as well. I don't know. This is, at the time, this was like, okay, they're getting a young guard and all these picks, so it's looking like a rebuild. But a rebuild, you also have Russell Westbrook on the team, and, you know, he's not trying to stick around for no rebuild, so is it looking like the Thunder are going to move Russ next? And it wasn't long before the Thunder would also trade Jeremy Grant to the Denver Nuggets for a first-round pick, so another first-round pick that was top 10 protected, but at the time, the Thunder are now gearing up on all of these picks. Well, Russell Westbrook traded to the Rockets for Chris Paul, so we're getting Chris Paul back to the Thunder and a bunch of picks for Russell Westbrook, man, the MVP in 2017, the all-time triple-double leader. The guy for the Thunder is now on the Rockets. And here are the full trade details. As you can see, pretty fat trade, but the main headline is Chris Paul heading back for Russell Westbrook, and Chris Paul's 2-year stint in Houston is over, and now they got James Harden and Russ over there in Houston, and we got Chris Paul and Shea over here in OKC. And now we're heading into the 2019-20 season for the Thunder, and they make a bunch of different signings right before the season. But obviously the main headline for the new OKC team is going to be the young guy in SGA and the old mentor in Chris Paul. And this team really isn't even expected to do anything after being the 6th seed making the playoffs last year. They're kind of expected to just kind of have a gap year, or, you know, the start of the tank. And as the start of the season was a little bit rough, they would actually catch fire and be a really good portion above 500 for the majority of the end of the season, and actually get invited out to the NBA bubble as well. And what? The Thunder are going to end as the 5 seed. They were the 6th seed last year. Obviously, they have less wins, but Wow, they're the 5 seed going to the NBA playoffs in the bubble after trading Paul George and Russell Westbrook. And it's because Chris Paul is just too good of a player at this time to let a team fall down, averaging 17, 5, and 6.7 assists. And SGA averaging 19 points per game on 70 games, 6 rebounds, 3 assists on decent efficiency. And then Lou Dort would actually be playing a lot, the two-way signing from earlier in the summer, and he was actually a huge defensive anchor for the team. And ironically, in the first round, it would be Rockets versus Thunder, the team that the Thunder just traded their franchise player Russell Westbrook to. And this series would go 7 games. And it would actually come down to the wire in game 7. Lou Dort tries to hit a 3 and James Harden gets the block. Lou Dort gets it back, tries to throw it off out of bounds from James Harden. James Harden dodges it, and the Rockets would win game 7. And so the season is over for the Thunder, the 2019-20 season in the bubble, and they're going home. But a lot of excitement and hope is now sparked in this fan base. As the main key piece, SGA just averaged basically 20 points per game and had an amazing season. And he's the main key piece they got back from that Paul George trade. And he just got mentored by Chris Paul, and it's only looking up for him. So now it's to the 2020 NBA draft for the Thunder, where they would only have one late first-round pick and then a second-round pick. So, not the best draft positioning here, but Sam Presti wasn't really too worried about the 2020 draft, as he was gearing up his team for the future drafts, and he would have a busy fall before the next season. So just to show you guys what happens on draft night, they draft Emmanuel Quickley and Cassius Winston, but this isn't really going to matter, as you'll see in a couple seconds. And boom, the Thunder trade Chris Paul to the Suns, and they're going to get back Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, and a future first-round pick. So another pick here for the Thunder, and they're done with Chris Paul. That was too much winning. They are in the tank now. And fully opening up the point guard room for Shea, they're going to trade Dennis Schroeder to the Lakers for Danny Green and Jaden McDaniels, who was just drafted. And the next day, another trade. They're going to sign Josh Hall to an Exhibit 10, and then they're going to trade their second-round pick for Vit Krejci and Schofield here, and some more second-round picks, basically just moving around some stuff. And wow, okay, November 20th, this is a huge day for the Thunder, as they're going to trade Emmanuel Quickley to the Knicks, and then they're also going to trade Jaden McDaniels and Ricky Rubio to the Timberwolves. Dude, imagine if Jaden McDaniels was on the Thunder. That would have been insane. And the main thing that the Thunder were trying to piece in here was Pokusevski. That's a player that they wanted here on the rebuild. And Sam Presti is wheeling and dealing, now trading Kelly Oubre Jr. to the Warriors for a bunch of second-round picks and a heavily contested first-round pick. And boom, we're not done, folks. Sam Presti at it again, trading Steven Adams for a first-round pick, and this is actually the Drew Holiday to the Bucks trade, but the Thunder are in here facilitating and getting any type of little second-round pick that they can get, helping getting this trade done, trying to sneak in some firsts in there as well. Just a Sam Presti masterclass with this one. Okay, I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing all these trades by now, but this is just what Sam Presti was doing in this offseason. He was trading everybody, and as you can see here, he's just filling out the roster. He signs Danilo Gallinari, and then he's going to trade him, and then he's also going to trade a couple other players, and then trade James Johnson, and just getting all these different picks, and he's just loading up on as many picks as possible, because he knows they're about to go into the rebuild, and they're going to go into the tank, and so he doesn't need good players. He just needs picks. And the Thunder would also hire Mark Dagnall as the head coach going into the 2021 season, so entirely new roster, all these new picks, new head coach. It's looking like a new era here for the Thunder. And the start of the season was actually not as rough as a lot of people expected. The Thunder would be kind of flirting with 500 for a good portion of the start of the season. And Shea was putting on some clinical performances, 33-10 on 68% shooting, 31-7 on 69% shooting. He was showing that he is stepping up, and he is going to be the cornerstone of this rebuild. And Lou Dort, remember the two-way signing, the guy that was playing in the bubble for them, putting on some 20-point performances, getting a lot of steals in these games, again, just proving his defensive prowess. But the team had enough, the front office had enough of any winning, and they basically pulled the plug on the season. As you can see here, 14-game losing streak to basically round out the end of the season. They are going for that number 1 pick. And they went as far as shutting down SGA for the rest of the season, because he was proving that he's a winning player, and they can't have winning players playing on the team right now. They're in the middle of a tank. And yes, Sam Presti was active throughout the season. He would trade Terrence Ferguson, Danny Green, and Vincent Poirier to the Sixers for Al Horford, Maladin, and Micic, and a first-round pick and another first-round pick, Wow, he's just getting all these first round picks. And even more, he's trading Hamidou Diallo to the Pistons for Svi and a second round pick. And he's also trading Trevor Ariza to the Heat for another pick. And the last trade of the season for them, in the middle of the season, they're going to trade George Hill to the 76ers and facilitate some other mini trades and get some more second round picks. Wow. And they would end the season as the 14th seed, 5 games behind or ahead, I guess, of the Rockets for the 15th seed. But they're going to have decent odds heading into the lottery for the number 1 overall pick. And Lou Dort, the player that was originally a two-way that got converted at the end of last season, actually ends up getting most improved player award votes and also gets all defensive team votes. So he's also making more strides for this team and basically solidifying his spot as one of the pieces of the rebuild. And during the offseason, the Thunder would also trade Al Horford off the team and back to the Celtics, and they would actually get Kemba Walker and some picks back in this deal. So many trades to break down so far in this rebuild, and we're only getting started. And now it is draft day, a day that Thunder fans have been waiting for a long time, and they're going to end up selecting Josh Giddey, another guard in the first round with their top pick. And at the time, he was coming out of Australia, and he was just kind of a best available pick, so it's looking good. They would also draft Şengün with their next first round pick, but this would be traded to the Rockets, as we all know. And then their next first round pick, yes, another one, they would draft Trey Mann, which was actually graded an A- at the time. He was kind of a shifty guard, kind of like AI comparisons. So, they draft Trey Mann. They're just building this roster out through the draft. And then they would actually also have 3 second round picks from all those trades that they did, and they would miss on their first one, but they would also draft Deuce McBride and Aaron Wiggins, and we all know those are 2 amazing players today. And those players were on the Thunder now. That's 6 draft picks in 1 draft. And we all know they would trade Deuce McBride for Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who was the number 32 pick. And they would also trade Rokas to the Knicks. So Deuce McBride and Rokas to the Knicks for JRE. And as we all know, they would also trade Şengün to the Rockets for more future first round picks. And then they would also waive Kemba Walker from that trade they did for Al Horford earlier when they traded Al Horford to the Celtics. They got back Kemba Walker and some picks, and they're going to waive Kemba Walker off the team. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Okay, that was a lot of asset acquisition and trades and draft night trades and drafting, but now we are officially heading into the 2021-22 season with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and these are the main pieces of the team at this point: Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have Vic Krejci on the team. They have Aaron Wiggins on the team. They got Trey Mann on the team. It's a young team. No one's expecting them to win anything, but oh my gosh, that was one of the most active trades seasons I've ever seen from a single team ever. So, oh my gosh, let's see how we go into this season. It's kind of nostalgic to look at pictures like this of Shai and Trey Mann and young Mark Dagnall as the coach, but to start the 21-22 season, obviously they wouldn't be very good. Through the first 40-ish games, they're going to be about 10 games below 500, so obviously another tank season, as the 2022 draft class coming in is pretty stacked, so they're going to try to get the number 1 pick or number 2, number 3, top 3 pick in that draft. And their 6th overall pick from last year's draft, Josh Giddey, would show some flashes, have, a couple triple doubles here and there, some high rebound games, some high assist games, and the scoring was a little inconsistent, but as a rookie, honestly, he's looking like a pretty core piece of the rebuild through the first little bit of the season. But wow, SGA, baby. He is coming into himself here, man. 34, 6 and 5, 31, 3 and 10, 29, 29 back-to-back games. Oh my goodness, bro. He's looking like an elite scorer. We've all seen this through the last 2 seasons, but he's really just proving himself now. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. 32, 36, 37, 29, 33, 33. I feel like I'm Stephen A. Smith talking about Harden with SGA here. This is right before they shut him down for the rest of the season because they can't be winning. They're trying to tank, but he's proving himself. He's rising on everybody's list. He's looking like a future All-Star, maybe a future MVP. And Sam Presti would only make 1 deal at the deadline here, and it's just trading a first-round pick for more other first-round picks, just some pick swaps, so nothing crazy. And at the end of the season, the Thunder would shut down Josh Giddey and Shai for the last 12, 13 games or something like that, just to make sure that they maximized their odds for their first-round pick, as they were going into this 2022 draft class that's pretty stacked with 3 first-round picks. Yes, 3. Actually, make it 4, and the Thunder would end 24 and 58, ending 14th in the Western Conference. So another tank year is officially over. And they would end up with the 2nd overall pick in the 2022 draft and draft Chet Holmgren Holmgren out of Gonzaga. Oh my goodness, the tall 7'1" do-it-all center forward. It's looking like a good pick to add next to Shea. And with their 12th overall pick, they would draft Jalen Williams, later nicknamed J-Dub, another player to add to the core. He's more of a big forward. He's like 6'6", but he's big. So, filling in those spots, they have Giddey and Shea as the guards. They got Chet as the center, so now they're getting a forward, just building the team. And then their last first-round pick, they actually pick Peyton Watson. Yes, imagine if Peyton Watson was on this Thunder team. Oh my goodness, but obviously we're going to see him get traded here in a little bit, but they draft Peyton Watson. Oh, also, I forgot to say, they also drafted Ousmane Dieng with the 11th pick, so just another big forward. He's kind of a scorer, do-it-all kind of guy, so oh my goodness, they are loading up. The 2022 draft class is their class. And with their second round pick, they pick Jay Will out of Arkansas. I loved watching him play at Arkansas, by the way. Amazing player there. As you can see him next to J-Dub. J-Dub nicknamed J-Dub. Jay Will nicknamed Jay Will. Dieng and Chet with Sam Presti there. The 2022 draft was just an amazing night for the Thunder and Thunder fans, the organization. Everything was a W night. And yes, the Thunder would trade Peyton Watson to the Nuggets for just some future picks. So yeah, Peyton Watson not a part of that 2022 class for the Thunder. And after the draft, the Thunder would extend Lou Dort to a 5-year, $87.5 million deal. Huge extension here for Lou Dort, who was originally signed as a two-way. He is officially locked up. And some terrible news for the Thunder. Chet Holmgren in a Drew League game is going to tear up his foot against LeBron on this play, and he's expected to miss the entire season. So the Thunder signed Mike Muscala to make up for it. W. And now they're going into the 2022-23 season, coming off Josh Giddey making all-rookie second team off of Shea cooking, and now, they don't have Chet, but they have other players like J-Dub and J-Will on the team. So, it's looking like maybe this is the end of the tank. Maybe they're going to try to win this year. And with all the new acquisitions in the rookie room, they're going to get rid of Vit Krejci. So Vit Krejci is going to get dealed to the Hawks. And the Thunder would sign Isaiah Joe to a multi-year contract after the Sixers waived him. But now we're starting the season, and the Thunder throughout the middle of the season were actually a lot more competitive than people maybe expected. They're around 500, and it's because of the leap that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander made this season. He was no longer the rising star. He had arrived, dropping 35, 26, 23, 42, 27, 35 on insane efficiency. Shai had arrived, and he was leading the Thunder to this 500 record with a bunch of rookies on the team and also missing their number 2 overall pick in Chet. And speaking of those rookies, J-Dub, Afro rookie J-Dub, I love this Afro look on him, by the way, was being one of the best rookies in the league, easily the best rookie in the West. The only other person that really compared was Paolo over there in the East. But J-Dub having crazy games, obviously pretty, standard 7-point, 12-point games there, but also having crazy 27-point games on insane efficiency. He was proving that he was one of the best rookies in the NBA. And even Josh Giddey took a leap this season, getting crazy triple-double games, dropping 31, 9, and 10, dropping 17 and 17 on good efficiency. And so these three players seemed like kind of the corner three for the build-up for the Thunder, and they didn't even have Chet yet. No Chet on this team, and they're sitting around 500. And here the Thunder end the season as the 10th seed, 40-42, but as you can see, the 5th best offense in the NBA as the 10th seed. Their offense is clearly all the way there, and now they just need some defense development, which will definitely come with adding Chet on the team. So, a really solid first bounce back year for the Thunder after those dark days in 2021 and 2022. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averages 31 points on 51% shooting, 62% true shooting. Oh my gosh, he's one of the best players in the league, and the awards will show it. Second in most improved player, 5th in MVP, and all NBA first team for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. An insane year for Shai. And J-W averaging 14 points, 52% shooting, 35% from 3 as a rookie. Oh my goodness, he's one of the best rookies in the league. Is he going to win Rookie of the Year? No, he doesn't. He gets second in Rookie of the Year to Paolo, but he was easily in contention there. This duo was looking nice. And I know you guys wanted a little bit more of this lore stuff after the Spurs rebuild, so I'm going to add this in here. Chet Holmgren posted free 7 at the end of this season because he was healthy and ready to play, but the Thunder didn't want to play him, and so they weren't playing him, and he wanted to play, so he was like, free me. But honestly, it was really smart that he didn't play. And anyways, they would only really make one move at the deadline, and that would be trading Mike Muscala to the Celtics. They would also trade Darius Bazley, but another year for the Thunder here, not making too many moves after that crazy acquisition year in 2020-21. But the Thunder did end as the 10 seed, which means they are back in the postseason in the play-in against the Pelicans in the 9-10 play-in game, and Josh Giddey went off in this game, nearly a 31-point triple-double. Lou Dort had 27 points. Shea had his classic 32 points. We had Jay Will dropping 8, 8, and 8. J-Dub playing in this game, and they would win this game by 5 points, so the Thunder are going to the next play-in game to try to make the playoffs. And it would be against the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards, and we would have Shea getting 22 and 7 in this game, Lou Dort dropping another 17, J-Dub with the 17 points, Giddey having a terrible game, shooting 15% from the field, and the Thunder would lose this game. Pretty big blowout, honestly. The Wolves heading into the 8th seed, everyone was kind of expecting the Wolves to win this game. So the Thunder miss out on the playoffs, but get some play-in experience, I guess, is good for the team, and it's really just high hopes and expectations for next year. And now going into the 2023 draft, after the 2022 draft selecting so many people and basically building the core that they have today, they weren't really looking to do that, so they would make some selections, but the next day and even on draft night and even before draft night, basically trade all of these selections away, as they are kind of focusing now on the core of Giddey, Shea, J-Dub, J-Will, and even Chet coming back next season. But the Thunder did have their eyes on one player, and that was Cason Wallace, who they ended up trading Derek Lively for from the Mavs, and so they were adding Cason Wallace, another defensive-minded player to this team, because they had a really good offense last season, but the defense wasn't that good, so they're trying to build that up. And expect a little bit more of an active offseason here from Sam Presti, as the Thunder are going fully into compete mode, and early in the offseason, they're going to trade for Victor Oladipo and a bunch of picks. And also the Thunder are going to get their hands in some other trades that they're not really involved in, but like the Dylan Brooks to the Rockets trade, they're going to trade Patty Mills to the Hawks for some more second-round picks. Again, Sam Presti just loves those picks, so anytime he can get his hand in a trade and get some picks, he's going to do it. And right before the season started, he's basically going to salary dump Victor Oladipo for some second-round picks and KPJ, who they waive. So now we're heading into the next season with basically the same team as we had last season, except we're adding Cason Wallace and Chet Holmgren, who is now healthy. And now it's the 2023 Media Day, and this team is looking a little scary. We got J. Will, J-Dub, Isaiah Joe, and Chet right there, and I think that's Ousmane Dieng behind J. Will, but all of these players are just the supplementary additives to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who just finished 5th in MVP voting. So this Thunder team is basically expected to make the playoffs this year behind this team and Shai. And boom, they are out of the trenches. The Thunder start the season hot, and they are around 18 and 8, 10 games above 500. So it's official. They're in compete mode now, and the team is in high vibes. Everyone's kind of friends. They're a young team. It's just really good vibes right now in OKC. And Sam Presti is the GM that never sleeps. Even though the team is good now, early on in the season, he gets his hand in another trade. This is the James Harden to the Clippers trade, and he's going to scourge out some more first-round picks, man. He's just the GOAT. And let's just look at what the team is looking like right now. Here's a December 26th, 2023 game where they blow the Timberwolves out, who they just lost in the play. And we got Shea starting, J-Dub, Lou Dort, Chet, and Josh Giddey all starting. And so this is the new team. And then obviously you got Isaiah Joe and Kenrich Williams off the bench, but this is the blueprint of the team, led by SGA, one of the best scorers in the NBA, one of the best players in the NBA. And another subplot for this season was Chet versus Wemby. As Chet comes back this season, technically it's his rookie year because he didn't play a single game in his actual rookie year, and Wemby's coming into the league from the 2023 draft, and the Rookie of the Year battle was actually pretty close at the start of the season between these two. And even though the Thunder were rolling in the middle of the season at the trade deadline, Sam Presti would actually trade Bertans, Trey Mann, and Micic to the Hornets for Gordon Hayward, kind of trying to gear up for a playoff run, get some more vets on the team, and this definitely was a miss from Sam Presti, but one of his only misses of all time, honestly. And throughout the season, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would solidify himself as a top 3 player in the world, if not top 5 at the very lowest. He was just going off. Insane efficiency is really where the money was made here. High points on high efficiency, and the Thunder would be the 1 seed, 57 and 25. They would be the 3rd best offense and the 11th best defense. Just look at these stats. I mean, they're almost top 3 in every single category. Just an insane year for the Thunder. And obviously going from the 10 seed to the 1 seed is insane. And adding Chet Holmgren, who played all 82 games, averaging 16 on 53, 37 shooting, 2.3 blocks per game, 63% true shooting. I mean, when you add a player like this, you can only get better. And SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, ends first team All-NBA once again, in second in MVP voting behind Nikola Jokic. A lot of people actually thought Luka should have won this MVP. But anyways, SGA finishes second. And he actually finished 7th in Defensive Player of the Year voting as well. And he would finish 3rd in Clutch Player of the Year voting. And as for Rookie of the Year, yeah, Chet Holmgren would not win it, but he would finish 2nd under Victor Wembanyama. And Mark Daigneault would win Coach of the Year, hired through the tank days all the way to a Coach of the Year. Great story for Mark Daigneault here. And now something new for this Thunder team, the playoffs. As the 1 seed, they will be playing against the 8 seed Pelicans, who they do sweep in 4 games here. A little bit of a scare in game 1, only a 2-point win. CJ McCollum had a shot per game and missed it. And so the Thunder will be advancing to the second round after sweeping the Pelicans, a good showing. But now they're going into the second round, even deeper territory where this team has never been, and they will be playing against the Mavericks in a red-hot Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And also, this Mavericks team was one of the best defensive teams at the time after trading for PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. So this would be a true test for the Thunder. And after a battle of a series, the Mavericks would win and take down the Thunder in 6 games. As you can see, the Thunder actually blow them out in game 1, lose by 9 in game 2, and then games 3 and 4, 5 and 6, basically all pretty close games. I guess not game 5, but I mean, this was a really close series. It came down to a couple of PJ Washington corner threes, but there's actually a bigger reason why the Thunder struggled, and it was because of Josh Giddey. He was basically invisible and disappeared in this series, providing no value on offense or defense, as he is a highly offensive motored player. He's not known for his defense, so if he's not doing anything on offense, he's basically just a negative out there. And this Mavericks team was honestly just destined to go to the finals this year, with Kyrie and Luka playing amazing and all the defense. It's like the Thunder just ran into a really hot team, and you know, it's their first playoff run ever, and it's the 23-24 season. I mean, they have a lot ahead of them. They're like the youngest team in the league anyway, and they're the 1 seed, so only up from here for the Thunder. And it wouldn't take long into the offseason for the Thunder to make a big move and trade Josh Giddey, their 2021 6th overall pick, for Alex Caruso, someone that will come in and fill in that role of defense, as the Thunder finished as the 11th best defense and the 3rd best offense. They're trying to increase that defense, so adding Alex Caruso is a huge move for the team. And they would have the 12th overall pick in the NBA draft because of all the trades that Sam Presti was cooking on. And they would actually select Nikola Topic, who was earlier rumored to maybe go number 1 in this draft about like 6-7 months ago. But he's going to fall all the way to 12 because of some knee injuries, and the Thunder are just going to pick him up. They don't really need him. They don't really need anybody. They were just the 1 seed, but they're going to pick him up. And an insane day, July 6, 2024, the Thunder sign Isaiah Hartenstein to a multi-year contract, and they also sign AJ Mitchell to a 2-way contract. And oh my goodness, another 2-way gem maybe found by Sam Presti. But Isaiah Hartenstein, another defensive player added to this team. It's looking scary. The league was shaking when this happened, because adding Caruso and Hartenstein to the already 1 seed team, these are 2 elite role players. This team is going to be absolutely amazing next year. Everyone's expecting them to be the 1 seed again. And this is the roster. Obviously, significant upgrades. Alex Caruso and Hartenstein, and Dort would start over Caruso. But you also have Cason Wallace coming into the team. You have Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe still on the team. AJ Mitchell signed a 2-way. And you still have, wow, after getting a 1 seed, this team is, they're looking good. So let's kick off the 2024-25 season with a 7-game win streak. And then, it goes in and out. And then, oh my goodness, a 15-game winning streak to get the record to 30-5. What? It's safe to say that SGA is arguably the best player in the game at this point. I mean, just look at these games, 50, 51, 54, 35, 48. Look at the efficiency on these games. 74% shooting on a 35-point game, 65% shooting on a 48-point game. I mean, these are numbers that we haven't seen in ever. And Chet Holmgren would actually break his hip this season. Kind of early on in the season, he would be listed out for about 6 to 8 weeks. I think it might have been even longer than that. And so losing Chet sucked, but it didn't matter. The Thunder were still winning. It's because players like J-Dub were stepping up to the plate, and he was playing like an all-star, and he actually would be listed as an all-star this season. J-Dub getting his first all-star selection alongside Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So the Thunder bringing in 2 all-stars for this season. And the next man up mentality was huge for OKC, as AJ Mitchell was also cooking and playing like a starter, the two-way they signed off of nothing. And Cason Wallace would end the season solidifying himself as one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, almost averaging 2 steals per game and shooting 47-35 from the field. He was just another amazing addition to this team. So you already have this great 1 seed getting all of these extra players playing amazing. You're bound to get something like this. Boom, 64-18, 60-win season here for the Thunder, and they are the 1 seed for back-to-back seasons. But look at this. The defense up to 3rd. They're almost 1st in every single defensive category. They're 1st in almost every single offensive category. I mean, this team is just unstoppable. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing in 76 games, 32.7 points per game, scoring title, 6 assists per game, 51% shooting, 37% from 3, 1st in plus minus. And he would win the most valuable player trophy, the one he's been chasing for the last couple of years. It was time. SGA is the MVP, the guy that they traded for Paul George way back in the day. Like, oh my goodness. And Jalen Williams, JW, would be all NBA 3rd team. This is looking great for the Thunder. They're getting their accolades. They're getting their respect. And it was back to the playoffs now as the 1 seed for the 2nd straight season for the Thunder. And they would be playing against the Memphis Grizzlies as the 8 seed. And the Thunder would take care of business and sweep up the Grizzlies in a couple of scary games, but still doing the same thing they did last year, sweeping the 8 seed. And now the Thunder would have a way bigger test going up against the Nuggets, who have won a ring before. They have the 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic. This is going to be way harder of a matchup than the first round series, and a real test, kind of reminding me of the Dallas series. Let's see if they can win this one. And after going down 2-1 in this series, Shai was seen walking off the court, smiling, laughing, almost like he has no care in the world, thinking that this is going to be an easy clap. I don't care about going down 2-1. And he would be right, as the Nuggets would force a 7-game series against the 1 seed Thunder, but due to injuries to Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, it really wasn't enough, as the Thunder were just overwhelmingly deep as a team, and they're going to take it out in Game 7 and even winning Game 7 by a large margin. But this Thunder team is now going to the Western Conference Finals, and they would be playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are back in the Western Conference Finals from last year as well, their 2nd straight conference finals. But this one wouldn't be that much of a thriller, as the Thunder would take care of them in 5 games. So the Thunder are back in the NBA Finals to play against the Indiana Pacers, the Power of Friendship Pacers. And the Thunder and Pacers would have a thrilling series that would go all the way to 7 games. And a lot of people think the Pacers would have won this series if Halliburton did not tear his Achilles in Game 7. But that's what happened, and the Thunder win the series in 7 fought games. All of the struggle, all of the tanking, the 2020-21 season, the 21-22 season, where the starting lineups looked like G Leaguers, this team has won the NBA Finals out of one of the best rebuilds we have ever seen. Sam Presti, probably the best GM we have ever seen. The Thunder have won the championship. And now going into the 2025-26 season, no changes were made. The team is staying the same for the first time in a long time. The team is running it back. They just won 68 games. They won the finals, and they were dominant all season. They had the MVP. They're running it back into the next season. And they would start the season 24-1. People were like, oh my God, they're going to break the Warriors record of 73-9. It's guaranteed. Until they ran in to the alien. And the alien Wemby would take them down in the regular season, almost sweeping them. And the Thunder were at a loss for words. All of this rebuild, we won the chip. We felt like we're on top of the world. We're 24-1. And we're getting dethroned by one man. So the Thunder go out and make a move, and a lot of people thought they didn't need to make a move, but they got scared because their shooting wasn't that good, and so they trade for Jared McCain, and all they gave up was one of their infinity lottery picks that they have from all of the trades they made throughout the rebuild. So they add shooting onto the team. And yes, the Thunder still end this season as the 1 seed, but as you can see, the Spurs right behind them, only 2 games behind them. The Thunder did have some injuries to J-Dub throughout the entire season, and SGA missed time, and during those games it was a little rough, but the Spurs, who I made an entire rebuild video about them, are also right behind the Thunder. They've caught up. And this video is about the Thunder's rebuild, the moves that they made and how they affected the team and what they wanted to go out there and change. And so I'm obviously not going to talk too much about just their success this season, because the only move that they really made was Jared McCain to make up for the lack of shooting. But SGA would win his second MVP. He's back-to-back MVP. And as I'm making this video, they are down to 0-1 in the Western Conference Finals to the Spurs. So, oh my goodness, these two teams, these two rebuilds facing up against each other. And I will have to say, watching these two teams play is almost like watching a different sport compared to everybody else playing. It is absolutely absurd. But please like the video, hype the video as well. It helps so much. And subscribe, guys. I'm trying to hit 5K subs. I've been grinding. This video took so long to make. I kept going back and making sure I tried to get everything. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. I really try to get everything in these videos, and I try to get them out in a timely manner for you guys. And I really took a lot. I learned a lot from that Spurs video. I feel like, the majority of people really liked it, and there was a lot of people saying I missed this or I missed this, and so I tried to catch everything in here. If I missed something, please let me know. But guys, this video was a lot of fun to make. It took a lot of hard work, I'm going to be honest. And so I really appreciate you guys sticking to the end. If you watched the whole video, I really appreciate that. And I hope to see you guys around in the channel. I read every single comment, so please comment. And peace, guys.